The Forest of Shadows. It was a crisp autumn evening when two couples, friends since childhood, set out on a hiking trip to explore the notorious Hollow Grove Forest. The forest was famous among locals for its eerie reputation, tales of people disappearing after nightfall, whispers of something watching from the shadows. But the group of four dismissed the stories as superstition. Anna and Mark, the adventurers, were eager for the thrill of the unknown. Sarah and James, the more cautious pair, were only along for the company. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they found themselves deeper in the forest than intended, the trail fading into an overgrown thicket. "Let's just turn back," Sarah said, her voice quivering. She could feel the change in the air, something thick and oppressive, like the forest itself was holding its breath. But Mark, ever the optimist, waved her concern aside. "It's fine. We'll find the trail again soon." The trees seemed to grow taller and closer, their branches entwining above them to form a canopy that blocked out the last rays of daylight. The path they followed grew narrower, as if the forest was pushing them deeper into its heart. When darkness fully claimed the forest, they realized they were lost. "We should have stuck to the main trail," James muttered, trying to hide his growing panic. His flashlight flickered, casting long, unnerving shadows that danced like specters on the trunks of ancient trees. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed through the air, a low, guttural whisper that seemed to come from every direction. It was unintelligible, but it made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. Anna's hand shook as she gripped Mark's arm. "Did you hear that?" "Probably just the wind," he said, but his voice lacked conviction. The whisper grew louder, as if 100 voices were speaking at once, all pleading, begging, or perhaps warning them. The trees creaked and groaned, like they were alive. And then, from the darkness, figures began to emerge, shadows without form, dark and formless, their shapes constantly shifting. "We need to get out of here," Sarah cried, her voice rising in terror. She grabbed James's arm and pulled him backward, but the more they moved, the more the shadows seemed to close in. A cold breeze swept through the forest, and the temperature dropped sharply. The air felt thick with a malevolent presence, as if something ancient and hungry was awakening. Anna screamed, pointing toward a distant clearing. There, a figure stood, tall, thin, and draped in tattered black robes, its face hidden in shadow. Its presence seemed to pull at the very essence of the forest, distorting everything around it. The whispers grew louder still, now accompanied by a terrible laughter that sent chills down their spines. "We need to run," Mark whispered, his voice trembling. But as they turned to flee, the forest seemed to shift, the